Hey there, everybody. Franklin Taggart here with Virtual Coffee Break. I've got my coffee, grab your beverage, and let's have a chat for just a few minutes. The topic on my mind tonight is something that I've come to call the growth spiral or the learning spiral. There are a lot of folks that like to talk about the cyclical nature of growth, and that we go through seasons of growth, just like seasons of the year and things like that. But one of the things that I think is important to understand is that it's not flat. It's not we're going through the same, we may be going through the same stages, but we're not staying on the same level the whole time. And I think it's important to understand that because for all of us who are, in kind of creative or helping roles with people, it does come into play, and I think we need to talk a little bit about what it is and why it's important to understand. I've worked with a couple of people recently, and have talked with a couple of friends and people that I consider colleagues and even mentors in the past couple of months. And one of the things that they're going through is that they're reaching a place in their work or in their business where they're trying things that they've done before and they've been reliable, but for whatever reason, they are no longer getting the results that they want to get with those same tools, tactics, strategies, and things like that. And one of the reasons for that is that they've reached a point in their work where they're actually leveling up. They're going up another level in their competence. And as their competency increases, one of the things that happens is that there's a whole new learning cycle, a whole new set of problems, a whole new set of challenges and circumstances that are new to them based on the new level that they're working on. So the things that they've tried at the lower levels, probably 9 times out of 10, won't work, and there will be a period of frustration that they go through because the things that they know to do just aren't doing the trick anymore. And it also goes to a certain extent with clients as well. One of the conversations that I've had recently was another coach that I know really well going through a period of time where the things that they've done so far have been for coaches that are just starting out, and maybe you're getting into their first year to 3 years of business, and they're starting to reach into the middle 5 figures of revenue generation. And the things that they were teaching were really appropriate for that group at that place. But what's happened, interestingly enough, is that they've brought their people up to a certain level of success, and now the challenges that those folks are facing are a different set of challenges. So the same things that you've been teaching for the last 3 years, probably you're either going to need to find a new audience for those same things, or you're going to have to up your game and adapt to the people that you've brought up into that upper level and start to learn and teach on that level rather than going back and doing the things that you've done before. Same thing goes for a couple of the artists that I've talked with recently. One person in particular is a painter who's been doing this work for a very long time. Had gotten to a point where was very comfortable in terms of the revenue that was being generated, but the rate of creativity and the rate of production had reached a maximum. So in order for this person to increase their opportunities and to make more money, what they ended up having to do is to go in a new level of creating. They had to experiment with some new things that are actually more lucrative in terms of their price, narrower market, which means that they're not, putting things out for prints on a website. They're putting actual things in museums and galleries and art installations and things like that. It's a whole new level of challenge. And so the learning curve starts all over again when they reach that new level. Now, the nice thing is that, as you progress through and reach higher levels in your work and in your business, you start to recognize the cycle. You start to recognize when you're coming around the mountain again, and you say, "Oh, okay, I get where I am right now. This is where I actually need to pull back and actually do some visioning, planning, reconnect with the values that are driving me, all of those kinds of things, because I've reached a new level of expression, a new level of creativity, a new level of business opportunity, and I don't know the lay of the land yet." So, if you're feeling like that you're reaching into a new level of opportunity, or the people that you're working with are starting to reach a new level of opportunity, one of the things that I think you're going to have to look at is, what do they need to know next, or what do they need to learn next? And if you're a coach or a consultant or someone in a helping position, maybe the thing that you need to concentrate on is staying a step ahead of their game. Like, remember that you're not going back to teach the same things that you've done for the last 3 years. You're learning a whole new context, and you're learning a whole new set of skills, and you're learning a whole new set of tools, and you're passing those on so that those folks can now go into their next level of creativity, their next level of opportunity, their next level of expertise. It's kind of just a normal cycle. I mean, we can trace it all the way back. Like if you go back to your early education years, like maybe kindergarten through third grade, you were learning the basics. You were learning ABCs, you were learning basic sentences, you were learning how to write things, you were learning how to do things, very simple mathematics, those kinds of things. But as you got older and more experienced, the challenges increased, and you went through a whole new phase of learning for each one of those stages of increase. Just kind of normal, and that continues now even as we're adults. So one of the things that I'm going to offer at this point is, if you are in one of those places where you feel like that you're kind of stuck in the middle of two levels, right? Like you're leaving one level behind and you're going up into another level, just go ahead and schedule a best next step call, because I have a feeling that one of the things that we can do is we can start to say, okay, what's the level that you're leaving behind, and what is the level that you're going to? What are you going to carry over from the old and bring into the new? And what new demands are being created by the level that you're on now? So set up that best next step call. It's a free 1-hour coaching session, and it'll give us an opportunity to talk through some of the things that you might be experiencing right now. Just keep in mind, folks, that this is a normal part of growing as a creative, growing as a business person, just growing as a human. We're going to go through this spiral, and there will be stages at each level, but it's going up. It's a growth spiral. The way that I like to think about it is that it's up and out, right? The opportunities that we become more capable of as we go up the spiral become much more, I don't know, some of them can be complex, some of them can be intricate, some of them can be challenging, some of them can be, very exciting as far as I'm concerned. But we're all on this same kind of a trip. We're all faced with growth opportunities all the time. And the things that we learned last year or the 3 years prior to this may or may not work like they once did. So those are my thoughts for tonight, folks. If you have any questions at all, feel free to get in touch. Schedule that call. It's a free 1-hour coaching session. And I'd love to have a chat with you and see what we can figure out. So thanks as always for your time and your attention. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you again tomorrow with a coffee break. So long.